Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another great edition of Topic Time with Harrison Young. Summer comes on. Happy August. We're in August now. Summer moves on, I should say. And heat stroke, all that good stuff. Been there, survived it. I'm back. More great shows. Got an awesome guest tonight. Got a few underwriters, not a lot. Read the underwriters, do the show, and on we go. So we got Above All Fitness in Brockton. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton as well. We got Vape Solutions in East Bridgewater. We got Big Lee's Automotive in Abington. We got Chapin Sheds in Whitman. And we got T. Martini and Sun Floor Covering in Abington. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now we will do the show officially. Here we go. Oops. Again, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the August 1st edition of Topic Time with Harrison Young. Yes, we're more than halfway through the summer, but you wouldn't know it by the weather. And again, on and on I ramble about the weather, but now we're going to check the guest out. This gentleman here, Rony Lucus, with one N.
Yes, one N.
One N.
R-O-N-Y.
Yep, he came up here from the biggest little state in the Union, and from Rhode Island. They've got a bunch of people from Rhode Island. He's an actor. He's an MMA master.
Well, not a master, but an MMA practitioner.
Practitioner. Okay, that's cool. We've had a lot of that. We've had a lot along the lines of that lately as guests on Topic Time, and we love it because people enjoy this kind of show. And we got a little clip of him doing a commercial for Newport, the boat.
Yeah, it was a little campaign they had going on for, I believe it's called Fun Sized RI.
Okay.
And it was to promote tourism in Rhode Island. And they did a series of these 8-second commercials.
Okay.
Like 8 seconds long.
Right.
We like sailed around for maybe like 2 hours.
Okay.
And then out of those 2 hours, they just managed to kind of just get 8 seconds of film a day, I guess.
Basically gave you a tour of Newport Harbor.
Yeah.
For 2 hours, and you get 8 seconds out of it, and that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. I mean, I got paid $400
you
for
paid
it.
too.
You know,
there you go.
Got free some free food, some free booze.
There
it
you go.
was pretty good.
Okay, well that sounds like sounds like you couldn't have a better day in Rhode Island than doing something like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but now we're going to talk about you. So tell me about Rony Lucus, growing up. Where did you grow up? How did you get to where you're at now? And then I'll throw the questions in when I have them. Go ahead.
All right. So I guess we can start with my name. It is Rony, with one N, R-O-N-Y.
Yeah.
But my name is actually hyphenated. It's Rony Clayton. It's one name, Rony Clayton.
Okay.
C-L-E-I-T-O-N.
I'm going by what I saw on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people don't. I don't go by that name. A lot of people don't even know this. It's
Okay.
Rony Clayton. Rosario Lucas is my full name.
Okay.
So I moved to Rhode Island about 12 years ago in 2007.
Okay.
I grew up in New York, in Yonkers, New York.
Yonkers,
That's where I grew
okay.
up. Yeah, I was born in Cape Verde, though. I was born in Cape.
okay.
Yeah. And I moved to the United States in 1993. I moved from Cape Verde to Yonkers.
Wow.
Yeah. So
all right, what were the circumstances surrounding those moves? Obviously, I assume you had something going on in the United States, gold in the streets, that kind of thing. Your parents had a job here.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what it was. It was in late 80s. I want to say 1989.
Yep.
My father immigrated to America.
Okay.
And left
You born still yet?
Yeah. I was born in '86.
Okay.
He immigrated over in '89.
So you were a little kid. Okay.
Yeah, I was
cool.
a little kid, and he left me and my mother behind.
Okay.
So he came, obviously, to get the job, to pursue the American dream, if you will.
Of course.
Went back, married my mother, and after he married my mother, he was able to get papers for us.
Okay.
So then.
Well, when he first came over here, he left. He came by himself just to get settled. Then he came back for you when you.
Yep.
Okay.
To get settled. Actually, when he came, his father had sent for him. His father was here since the '60s.
Okay.
So he actually never.
Your grandfather.
My grandfather.
Right,
Yeah.
gotcha.
He never really had any recollection of his father, really, because his father left when he was just like a baby.
Yeah.
And that was in the '60s, because he was
Yeah.
born in '64. I believe that my grandfather left Cape Verde in the late '60s.
Okay.
And yeah, so my father sent for him. He actually met his father, when he was 26.
Wow.
Really,
Okay.
you know. And
So this is almost like making up for leaving them early by inviting them. Okay.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's kind of how I looked at it all those years, you know.
I try to look at the glasses half full, not half empty.
Exactly.
Obviously.
That's a
Okay.
good way to look at it.
Cool. And
Yeah.
it always seemed to work out for you guys.
It worked out great.
Okay.
It was amazing. It was an amazing journey, really. I mean,
Yep.
moving from, because I mean, Cape Verde is an archipelago. It's like 10 islands, 10 small
I know
islands.
it is.
Yeah.
Actually, my parents have a Cape Verde housekeeper and a husband and kids.
Oh, there you go.
And she's been with them since 1996. So
Oh, wow.
It's been a while.
That was a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, 23
That's
years.
it. I'm glad it worked out.
Oh, it's worked out great.
Yeah.
She's a
But,
great cook, and she's an
Yeah,
awesome person.
so you like the Cape Verdean food then? Did she do the cooking?
What's that?
Did she do any of the cooking for you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't live with my parents. She used to cook for me and
Yeah,
send
back-
food over.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I have a very strict diet, and what she used to do is she'd send a big spread over that would last for a month, but you can't keep food fresh for a month.
Yeah.
She works for my parents. She works for them. She makes their food. And I can't ask her to, cook for me every other day.
Right.
And I just get I go to the Whole Foods route and get my favorite. I'm a vegan, so I eat the foods
Okay.
I eat are very
All right.
specific, and I love what I eat,
Yeah.
including a pound of chocolate every day. And yeah. Well, it's healthy chocolate, and based on what I'm seeing about you, it looks like you eat healthy too. You
Oh,
take
yeah.
care of
I
yourself.
try to keep it low carb.
Right, exactly. Me
More
too.
on the keto side. Have you heard of the ketogenic diet?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Not that familiar with it, but I have heard of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay more so on the ketogenic, maybe like paleo side of things.
Okay.
Eliminate the sugar, this processed food, processed carbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I know. I totally agree. But let's get back to. So you were in Yonkers. So what was Yonkers like? I saw a movie called Lost in Yonkers.
Oh yeah.
It was a great film.
Ironically enough.
Mercedes Rule.
Yeah. Ironically enough, none of that movie was actually filmed in Yonkers.
Interesting. From
yeah.
Hollywood, right? All the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all the way. Yeah. So when I moved in '93, mind you, I was coming from a very small place.
Yep. Cape Verde's a small island.
Very small. I was
Yep.
Island of Sal, very small island.
Yep.
So when I touched down,
Yep.
JFK Airport, left the airport, and then, we touched down in Yonkers.
Okay.
And it was just a shock to the system, really. I mean, just the exposure to like so many things in one day,
Because
really.
Cape Verde is a third world island, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
I'm only saying that because that's just what I heard.
No, it is. It's a
It is,
third
yeah.
world country.
Right.
Yeah, so just living in New York to me was such a great experience that I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Good. But you ended up in Rhode Island eventually.
Yeah, so I ended up in Rhode Island at the end of 2007. My parents were moving back to Cape Verde at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yep.
they worked here all those years. They built their they built a whole bunch of properties down there.
Okay.
Okay, so what they came to accomplish, they accomplished. They went back. So I was asked the question, are you gonna stay? Are you gonna stay by yourself? Do you want to
Yeah.
go back with us? And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna go back with you guys. I came to kind of seek my own path.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go and live off of their stuff, and I have no plans of going back to Cape Verde really to live there.
Well,
I mean,
where
not right
are
now,
they now? Are they still there? Are they back,
Actually, they came back last summer.
back here? Or are they
Back here. Now they're in Rhode Island.
They're in Rhode.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's been a year. Because
Okay.
I have a little brother and little sister, and now they needed the same opportunities that I got.
Of course.
So then they brought them over for schooling and everything.
Okay.
But
So why did you move to Rhode Island then?
so yeah, at the time when they were moving, I didn't want to go to Cape Verde, obviously, and
Yeah.
I really didn't want to stay in New York as much as I love it.
Yeah.
The cost of living is just it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was already familiar with Rhode Island because I used to visit as a kid. My
Okay.
father had friends and family here. So I said, well, you know what? I'll just move to Rhode Island where the cost of living is more manageable.
Okay.
And I can kind of maybe get a little fresh start over there.
Okay.
I'm always back and forth to New York anyways. If I get homesick, I get in the car, I drive down to New York, one,
You
two,
still
three.
got family and friends there? Or friends?
Cousins, yeah, I got cousins
Cousins,
down
okay,
there.
there
I
you
got
go.
uncle, aunt, so I got some family down there.
Okay.
But yeah, so I came here, and and actually when I came here was when I started looking for like background work in movies and in
okay.
commercials.
This is in Rhode Island.
Yeah, Rhode Island was
Okay.
actually when it kicked off for me. I always had like ambitions of. It all started in Cape Verde as a kid.
Okay.
I would watch movies. I remember like being 5 years old and watching. I remember like RoboCop and Enter the Dragon.
Okay.
Those two films right there. I think like Turner and Hooch was another one with Tom Hanks. And just thinking like, wow, like I didn't know what they were saying because they were all like, they were in English, but they had the
You
subtitles.
didn't speak English then?
No, I did not,
Okay.
and I couldn't even read, and they were all in English with the subtitles. So,
Okay.
but somehow it's like you always know what's going on.
Yeah, you know what's
You know
going
what's
on,
going
and it enthralled you.
Yeah,
I got
yes,
it.
like
Okay.
it just like reeled me in, and then I'm watching like these Van Damme movies and a whole bunch of like movies that will come from like Asia,
Yep.
like China, and some Bollywood movies too as well.
Like Bruce Lee flicks.
Oh, Enter the Dragon was my go-to.
That's how
That's how it started.
Therein lays the martial arts dream.
Yeah,
I
that's
gotcha.
how it started with the Enter the Dragon, and I think like Lionheart with Van Damme, Bloodsport, stuff like that.
Claude Van Damme.
Yeah,
Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. I always liked his kicks, so I always wanted to
You
mimic.
decided to
kicking.
emulate him.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, I try to emulate a lot of the kicks from between Van Damme and Bruce Lee when I do like spar stuff
Okay.
like that. But yeah, so when I moved here, I got signed up with Boston Casting and LDI Casting.
Okay, that's
LDI.
LDI is Ian. What's in there? I can't. Ian.
And Moho?
Mohawk. What's the last name?
Moho?
Yeah.
Moho, right? Something like that.
Moher or something like that. I don't know. Well, I know we're friends, and I can't. Mohal.
Mohal.
Mohal. Yeah.
Mohal is her name. Yeah.
Right. And she's a great casting director.
Yeah,
She got
she
some
is.
of my topic time guests, like Mikey Messier. She got him in a. You know Mike?
No, I do not know him.
Oh, well, he's a Rhode Island guy from Wickford, and he actually played Sybil Shepherd's. Well, I don't. He played a retarded son in a big film that was on AMC many years ago, and she
Okay.
got him the role. He's not retarded, but he's a big guy, and he creates the impression when he wants to. He's very good at it.
And he played alongside with Sybil Shepherd?
Yep, he played
Yeah,
his
oh,
son.
nice.
It
Good
was
for him.
great, and he was
That's
a guest
awesome.
on my show several years ago.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Good for him.
Good guy.
I would like to play alongside Sybil Shepherd. Yeah.
Well, I know. Well, you keep doing what you're doing, and maybe you will.
Maybe,
Plus,
maybe.
being on my show, that could help too.
Hey, I hope so. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
it's-
I heard that you're that guy. You know,
I'm the one. I'm the go-to. Yep. Well,
So I'm here.
okay. Well, as much as often as it is to toot my own horn, we got to focus on you. 'Cause you're the
Yeah, all right,
guest.
let's do it.
So, all right. So taking that you were a kid and loving the martial arts films in Cape Verde, that's when you got to Rhode Island. I assume that's when you decided to try it yourself, correct?
All right,
Or was it
finally,
something-
I actually, I would dabble here and there, like in New York. I would kind of like dabble, but I wouldn't like ever really commit.
Okay.
You know, and then a few years back, I was doing a kickboxing. There was a kickboxing school in Warwick. It was called the Phoenix. I was there for a little bit, but it didn't last too long.
Okay.
So they kind of shut down.
Yep.
But I've been consistently training in MMA with Triforce MMA in Pawtucket.
Okay.
And that is run by Peter Jeffrey.
Okay.
I don't know if you.
He's a
local guys.
sensei.
Yes, he's the sensei.
Gotcha.
He's that guy.
Okay.
And I've been consistently there from November of 2016 until now.
Okay.
And it's a great school.
Yeah.
It's where you go to put it all together. You know, kind of build your skills, hone in.
Yeah.
And if you want to go somewhere with it, I know a lot of young guys that go there.
Yeah.
And they want to make it a career, and it is very attainable. You know, because you go there, you see a lot of UFC guys go in there, a lot
Sure.
of Bellator guys go
Yep.
in there, a lot of these major league guys go in there, and he's got a lot of connections. So I mean, I go there just for the love of it.
Okay.
For the love of martial arts, to practice, to learn different skills.
Sure.
It's more for life purposes for me.
Yeah,
you know?
I understand.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I do it for the mind, the body, and the soul.
Keep
you know?
mind, body, and soul. Keep yourself in
Yeah,
shape.
you know, the Triforce.
Keep yourself on your toes and all that.
Yeah,
I
I
got
do
it.
it for that. I mean, if an opportunity ever presented itself to I do want to do a couple of amateur fights. Eventually, I will.
Cool.
But you know, I'm going through this journey. Like I'm taking my time with it. Some
Cool.
guys like to rush right in, but I'm.
Yeah,
one
you
of those-
seem like the type of guy that knows what he wants, and he's not in any rush to get it because he wants
Yeah.
to get it just right.
There you go. Exactly.
I read people well.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, but I remember my first gig that I had gotten was with LDI Pro,
Yep.
and it
This is a film you're talking about.
before that it was you know what it was? It was audience member on Deal or No Deal
Oh, I was on that too. Howie Mandel.
down in Connecticut.
Down in Waterbury, Connecticut. I was
Yeah.
there September 11, 2009, just about 10 years
That
ago.
was when that's when I did it. You probably were there the same day.
I was there the same day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sunrise Studios, I think it was called.
I made $100. The contestant made about 35,000.
Yeah, I made $100 for like 2 hours just to be there for like 2 hours.
That's right. And then they wanted us to come back for the next week, but they weren't going to pay us. They wouldn't pay us the gas money.
Really?
It made more sense to just go one day, get the $100. But from where I live in Brockton, which is next door to Easton here, it would have probably cost, putting in money for gas and stuff probably would have set me back. So it made more sense just to go one time.
Okay.
And get on national television, kind of
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, I never really was a follower of the show. So I couldn't tell you what episode I was on, or I didn't even attempt to. I just know that I'm on some episode. Maybe you can see me in the crowd, maybe you can't.
Right.
But I remember, the funny thing was, do you remember when they were prepping you, like they were telling you, just in case you bumped into Howie, how to interact with him?
Yeah, don't shake his hand.
Such a germaphobe.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like you can give him the
They didn't
the
tell
pound.
us that, but we never got that close to Howie. Because I was sitting up in about the 8th row. Howie was down in the on the floor. So I knew I wasn't going to get that close to Howie.
We just shared a little pointing at each other. That's what it was.
No, I just behaved myself. Didn't, I just looked the pretty girls across the way. I looked at them, not Howie.
Well, the thing about Howie is that I kind of wanted to meet him because when I was a kid, and this is going back to like when I lived in Yonkers, there was a show on. It was an after school like cartoon show. It was called Bobby's World. It
I remember
was on
that.
Fox Kids.
Yep.
And Howie did the. I don't know if he created the show, but he did the voice of the father on the show.
Okay.
So he kind of played a little role in my childhood. So I wanted to have some kind of interaction with him, and then we kind of had that little motioning to each other,
So LDI got you that role, and Boston Casting got me that role.
Oh, you went with Boston Casting? Okay, yeah. I had it with LDI.
Now let's talk about the projects that you've done in films. That's what I definitely wanted to cover that. So.
So I did my first film.
You could talk about some of the people I've interviewed that you've worked with too. I remember you mentioned Chris Silva.
Yeah, Chris Silva, actually, I met him a year ago.
Okay.
Through a mutual friend.
Right.
And that's how I got introduced to Joe McGee.
Oh, Big Joe, he was here.
Yeah, he introduced me to him. Right. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a talented guy.
Are you in Reflections too?
I am.
You are? Cool.
I am. Okay. And I think I'm shooting for like 2 days in August. At the end of August, so one day in August, like August 31st, and then the first week of September.
Tommy Fury too, a great guest.
He's a good guy.
Together that night. That was like just about a year ago.
Yeah, I filmed with them Letters for Annie in Connecticut.
Right.
It was like the boxing scene.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I was like one of the.
I saw that. You were with Tommy, right?
I was in like the background. I was like cornering Tommy in a way.
Right. So you were in the same scene with him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We had a couple of scenes like.
I knew I saw. I knew you looked familiar.
Yeah. We had the shirt off.
You have that familiar look about you, but now I know why you look familiar.
That was probably from there. I figured maybe one of those guys kind of like referred me to you, but was it that you just saw me on Facebook?
Yeah,
or
that's
something?
it. That's how I pick out everybody. Pick out everybody. I've got almost 5,000 friends on Facebook.
Yeah, I figured that maybe like Joe or Tommy or.
Well, no, but I know that once I picked you, then you got to talking to Joe, and Joe said, "Oh, you definitely got to do the show." Hey, listen, I know how. I know
Joe, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, thank you, Joe. Okay.
Yeah, Joe's good. He's a talented guy.
His
books are very good. Very good books.
I know. He gave me a couple. He gave me one anyway. He gave me Letters from Annie. I got it at home.
Did you watch the film?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it was good, right?
Yeah, very good.
Very good film.
The black and white was really clever. Taking it from back to the 40s.
Like the flashbacks.
All right. So what other projects have you been doing?
So I did Missing William. I did. This was shot in Cranston in 2010. That was my first background work in a film.
Okay.
And it was November 2010. I can remember.
That far back? Wow.
Yeah, I remember because that day was the day I met Brandon Routh. You know, he played Superman in Superman Returns.
Oh, that's the picture you sent me.
That was the picture.
That was 2010. Okay,
that was
gotcha.
2010. And he was a very good guy.
Yep.
Very good guy. His wife Courtney Ford was there. She took the picture of us. Now I didn't know who she was at the time.
Okay.
But come to find out, she's a big hotshot herself. You know, so that was my first work.
So he's a big star too.
Oh yeah. I mean, his biggest role was like Superman Returns, I believe.
Okay, we'll get the picture in there.
But he's done right now. He's on a show called Legends of Tomorrow on the DC CW network or something like that.
Okay. All right. I think we're down to 5 minutes to go. Oh, I'm sorry. I mistake. I thought I got a hand signal from Kim in the booth. We got it. We still got some time. So let's talk about some of the other stuff you've done.
I've done Letters for Annie.
Okay.
The commercial that I did
the Newport thing
for the tourism in Rhode Island.
Okay.
Let me see. I did Nosferatu. There was a show Nosferatu that's out on AMC right now.
Cool.
And they shot it in Narragansett.
Okay.
And it's one episode. I'm in background once again.
Okay.
I don't have anything major or any speaking roles as of yet.
Okay.
Except for Letters for Annie. I did actually have a speaking role there.
I'm going to ask you this. Have you ever done any writing?
No, I don't write.
Well, you might want to try it. Maybe you could create your own script.
Yeah, you know what? I've actually been thinking about that recently. I have a lot of ideas.
Don't put it. I always tell my guests, never put anything behind you. Never put anything, what's the word I'm looking for? in a corner and leave it there when
Yeah.
you could utilize it to your best advantage. I just made that up, but you can write it down if you want.
Oh yeah, I have it.
I won't sue
It's
you.
in here. You won't sue me for it? If I,
Plagiarism, right.
All right.
But that's what I'm saying. You can. Have you ever done anything musical? Played instruments, sang, danced?
I play a little bit. I mess around with the acoustic guitar a little bit.
Okay.
I'm trying to get better. I'm
Okay.
not like the greatest.
Ever been in a
but,
band?
No band.
Okay.
No band. It's actually kind of funny because when I was younger,
You kind of got a Harry Belafonte look, the voice,
thank you.
and the voice too a little bit.
Oh wow! You think maybe I should try a little
There you
something.
go.
Well, I have. You know, it's funny you said that because I come from a family of like musically talented people,
There you go.
singers and guitar players. But when I was a teenager, me and my cousin we used to mess with Adobe Audition in the computer.
Okay.
And we used to rap. That was back in our New York Yonkers days, you know.
Well, there's no reason why you can't do it now and put something on YouTube.
Oh no, I have so many hobbies, man. I just do it all. When I get some time, I like to just do it all, you know.
All right.
But yeah, I do have some as far as like the YouTube page.
Yeah.
I do have some plans of getting one up and showcasing some of my talents, you know.
There you go.
You know, all of it, all my hobbies, just put them out there. You know, I mean, I draw. I'm a very good artist.
Cool. I was going to
so-
ask that. Well, I may have forgotten, but I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you are a creative person in many ways.
Yeah. I you know, every day I try to, or whenever I have some downtime, I try to utilize that downtime to be as creative as possible.
Okay. To be as what is? Oh yeah,
Creative as possible,
Yeah.
regardless of what it is.
Okay.
You know, and I just try to learn something new every day.
Aside from martial arts, you ever played any other sports?
You know what? When I was little, a little bit of soccer.
Did they play
when I
that
was
in
younger.
Cape Verde?
Yeah.
They did play in Cape
Oh,
Verde. So
yes.
Cape Verde is
Yes.
it's a third world country, but they do have some pretty cool activities over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's so I hear.
And I think now
It
too.
never
over there-
snows either.
No, never. You know what I'm saying? Tropical all the time.
Right.
And in most recent times, they've now been opening like martial arts schools over there.
Oh, in Cape Verde?
Yeah.
Wow.
Since MMA is kind of catching fire.
Yep.
You know, a lot now worldwide. So now they're like establishing MMA schools. And
Okay, that's incredible.
that's good. I hope that.
Now, as far as martial arts is concerned, are you gonna like be an instructor, or have you ever?
No, I don't. Right now, I'm just a student of the game.
A student, okay.
Yeah, I'm not an instructor. of any
Have
sort.
you ever done anything martial arts wise in any of your films? I mean, you were that boxing scene with Tommy. But that was just you in the background.
Yeah, I was just in the background hitting bags. That was
Yeah.
the extent of it. I
Okay.
didn't get like the fight scene was between him and
I
Sal.
saw that.
Yeah.
I saw the film.
But no, I haven't done anything in movies with the martial arts.
'Cause it
Not
cer-
yet.
No, but it could certainly help you. Your skills, maybe how many film producers do you know? I mean, I know Tommy's one of them, but anybody that could put you in a scene where you're doing martial arts would be really cool. Or doing stunts, or doing fight scenes where you're either a bad guy or a good guy,
Yeah.
but you make a good impression on whoever it is that's watching.
Yeah. Well, sadly, I don't. Well, unfortunately, right now, I don't have that many connections.
Right, okay.
In this realm of film.
What about?
Not
What
yet.
about I know you're connected with Boston Casting. You're connected with LDI. How about some of the indie film and Tommy? But anyone, that's it, right? You know.
That's it.
What about Hollywood East? You have any
I
connections?
think I'm attached to that Facebook page.
It is.
I'm
You
in
should-
that.
You are
yeah.
good. You should be, because there's a lot of opportunities for actors in small films there.
Well, you know what it is too, is this, right?
Yeah.
So my schedule, I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
Okay.
I do get a lot
Oh, that's right. You were telling me
emails.
you had to come there from
Yeah, I was coming from Woonsocket.
Woonsocket, right?
Now, I do get a lot of emails for opportunities, but the thing is that they're always on like days that I'm working.
Yeah.
And they're never on weekends.
Right.
Actually, you know what? It's a funny story because the last Mark Wahlberg movie, I believe it's called Wonderland.
Okay, yes, I
Okay.
remember it.
I was supposed to be in a scene. It was a funeral scene. I was supposed to be a Boston cop.
Okay.
That was the role I was gonna play. All right, so they told me that, it's gonna be this day.
Yep.
Come down for a fitting. I went down for a fitting. I
Yep.
got fitted into the uniform. Then they said, well, shooting is gonna be on this day. I took the day off for work. Come that day, we're gonna have to reschedule. Okay, fine. No,
Yeah, that happens in films, especially large scale films.
Yeah, it's gonna be this day. Okay, then I take off work that day again, rescheduled. And then the third day rescheduled. So it never really even came into fruition because by the time they actually were gonna do it, I said, listen, I can't take any more days off work.
Well, that's
I've
too bad.
exhausted my days because you guys kept on pushing and changing, and
Yeah.
I lost out on a scene with Mark Wahlberg in Wonderland.
All right. I know that sounds discouraging, but
I know.
don't give up. There's going to be
No.
plenty more.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Do you have a resume with a photo with a headshot?
You know what? That's what I need. I need some
definitely
headshots. I need some headshots.
Because you have the look for that kind of thing, for that
thank you.
kind of role.
Thank you. Thank you very
You have
much.
you have an official, you know, rough and tumble, cop look, gangster look,
I'm trying to go
whatever.
for that. I'm trying to go.
But
I don't want to be
But if you
typecasted.
don't have a headshot to show people, then no one's going to know.
See, the thing about the Boston casting is I have that. I believe I have that basic profile. So
Okay.
I have like some headshots on there. They're not like official headshots, but to get your stuff out there, you know, they want you to like pay for the membership and all that.
Well, I get 4 words for you. New England Models Group.
New England Models.
They're up in New Hampshire. Go up there. They'll give you a free screen test,
Really?
and they'll take your headshot.
Okay.
I went up there. Somewhere on file, they may still have it.
Now it's like a package deal?
I had a couple of roles in extra films. I was in Shutter Island, played a mental patient role I was born to play. I worked right with Scorsese. And I was way back in 1997, I was in Amistad, played a member of the House of Representatives.
All right, wow.
Spielberg fired me.
Amistad, eh? He fired you from the set?
Wow, the guy's an idiot. He said, we were doing it on a dated scene, and John Quincy Adams, a.k.a. Anthony Hopkins, was dozing off, and they said, ask inquiries to his well-being. And I said, is he okay? And they said, they didn't say it like that back in 1839, and he fired me.
Wow.
So he probably lost $10,000 on a cut and print, which he can afford. But whose fault is that? I'd never done a film before. I was 37 years old, and here I was on a film set.
Yeah.
He should have been more specific.
Right, correct.
Said,
Yeah, of course.
1839, don't talk like it's 1997.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but he didn't do that. He figured we assumed it. So, well, guess what, Ronnie? We're down. Now we are down to 5 minutes.
Oh, we're down to the nitty gritty.
Down to the nitty gritty. So what I want you to do in the remaining time is give shouts out to people that are going to see the film, see the show. I mean, and there'll be lots of them, and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh yeah, I want to give a shout out to one Triforce MMA, Joe McGee.
Hey, Joe.
Allison Blackwell. She's a very I don't know if you spoke to her.
No,
She's
I didn't, but we're going to get her on the show.
Okay.
You wanted to get her on?
Yes,
Okay.
very talented young lady. She's a writer. She draws comic books. She writes books.
Great.
Yeah, she's awesome. Also a fighter, and she has a fight
Oh,
coming up.
that's right. You mentioned that.
yeah,
She was
has
a
fight
fighter,
coming
too.
up. My good friend Doug Guadamus Prime is his name.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
that's his whole name?
Oh,
It sounds like you said Doug Guad in his prime.
Guadamus Prime.
Like he's in his prime. That's what it sounds
No,
like you said.
it's a play.
That's his full name.
It's a play on Optimus Prime,
Okay.
and he's Guatemalan, so he calls himself
Okay.
Guadamus Prime.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
That's what it
very
sounded
good. But
like.
he's also like he's also a martial artist himself.
Okay, then
So,
we'll get him on the show. if
Yeah,
he wants to
yeah,
appear.
yeah. I'm trying to get him on the show. That's it.
All right,
That's it. That's it.
We don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to spend too. Well, listen. I hope you had a good time with me.
I had a great time.
I had a great time too. Now, just going forward, before we wrap it up, what does the rest of the summer look like for you, and maybe going into fall? Just doing reflections. Do you have anything else going on?
I'm just doing reflections right now.
Yeah.
Keeping up on the MMA training.
Okay.
I am hoping to land into a law enforcement academy by the fall.
Oh, really? You really going to be a cop?
Well,
Looking into it?
right now I'm on like a waiting list for a few departments,
Okay.
both police and corrections.
Okay. I thought they were one and the same, but what do I know?
Police are in the
civilian.
streets, the corrections officer are in the prison the
Oh,
whole time.
wow.
Yeah, so whichever one comes knocking first.
Both are thankless jobs.
Exactly.
know.
But I want to get my career on check first. I want to worry about and focus on real life first.
Okay.
And then I have a better schedule and I have more. My finances will be a little bit better.
Okay.
Then I can focus on getting these little roles here and there, without
you
the
go.
stress of real world on top of me, That's another thing why I don't kind of hop on these things a lot is because I have so much, I have to get, the real world stuff in check first.
I get it. Okay, well, on that note, we're going to wrap it up. You ready to jiggy?
Ready to jiggy.
Okay, folks, thanks for watching Top Your Time. More episodes to follow. See you next time. Here we go. You got it. Everybody has their own special style. You got to like that.